As the desert sun reaches its punishing zenith over the Sakhir International Circuit, the morning session of Day 2 in this final high-stakes week of 2026 testing has just drawn to a dramatic and chaotic close at 1400. In an instant, the narrative of the entire pre-season has been flipped on its head. The aura of the flawless Ferrari that dominated our headlines yesterday has evaporated, replaced by a dark cloud of radical design risks and a looming reliability crisis that has sent shockwaves through the Maranello camp. Today, the masks finally slipped. All 11 teams on the grid have begun playing their cards with a brutal, naked honesty, peeling back the layers of secrecy to reveal the true hierarchy of this new era. Lando Norris ignited the timing screens, sending a clear message to Italy by snatching P1 with a blistering 1 minute 33.453 in the McLaren MCL40, a lap that looked as stable as it was fast. But the real thunder came from Max Verstappen and the Red Bull-Ford partnership. By clocking a precise 1 minute 33.584 to take P2, they proved that the Ford power unit isn't just a project, it is a predator. However, the most chilling story is unfolding inside the Ferrari garage. Lewis Hamilton, in a morning that can only be described as a mechanical nightmare, completed a mere 5 laps before the SF26 was swallowed by the shadows of the pit box, plagued by gremlins that Maranello is desperate to downplay. But the talk of the paddock isn't just the failure, it's the sheer terrifying audacity of Ferrari's 180-degree rotating rear wing. A design so radical, so out of the box, that it has left rival engineers sprinting to the FIA with telemetry data in hand. We are standing at a crossroads. Before we deconstruct the staggering genius of Ferrari's failing wing, the raw hybrid power of Verstappen's Ford unit, and the existential 6-month gearbox crisis currently threatening to derail the entire Aston Martin Honda project, hitting that subscribe button and joining the F1 Perspective family would be a fantastic way to support our deep dive coverage. Now let's peel back the carbon fiber and see what's really happening behind those garage doors. The wild position. This design cancels out drag and redirects airflow to the diffuser, granting an astronomical advantage on the straights. Ferrari engineers, having spent months in the wind tunnel, aim to turn these bulky 2026 cars into straight-line bullets. However, this revolutionary solution brings terrifying mechanical complexity. The massive load on hydraulic systems during each rotation pushes Ferrari into a double-or-nothing gamble. Paddock technical spies are now heatedly debating the reliability cost of this 180-degree rotation and whether the FIA will view this as a violation of movable aerodynamic device regulations. Lando Norris sent a clear and staggering message: Ferrari isn't champion yet. With a 1 minute 33.453 on medium tyres, Norris set the fastest lap of testing so far. The McLaren MCL40 proved to be the most balanced car, showing incredible stability on corner entry and smooth responses in Lando's hands. Norris's acceleration out of slow corners highlights how far McLaren has come with battery management software. By beating Ferrari's previous times, the MCL40 showed a perfect balance between chassis flexibility and downforce. Engineers seem to have optimized their X-mode software much more stably, even if not as radically as Ferrari. This confirms McLaren as a #1 threat for 2026, reaching high speeds without sacrificing reliability. After a flawless 70 laps with Leclerc yesterday, Ferrari hit a massive brick wall with Lewis Hamilton today. Hamilton managed only 5 laps and finished at the absolute bottom with a slow 1 minute 39.670, even behind the backmarker Cadillac. Ferrari's technical hiccup excuse didn't fly. The structural stress created by that famous flipping wing mechanism seems to have paralyzed the car's entire rear drivetrain. Leaks suggest the issue involves a hydraulic pressure loss in the wing mechanism that disrupted the rear suspension geometry and damaged the gearbox integration. In a new era like 2026, where every second is gold, Hamilton completing only 5 laps so close to the end of testing is an irreparable data loss. Hamilton's unhappy, arms crossed, and pensive expression in the garage is brutal proof that things in Maranello today weren't just bad, they were catastrophic. It is mathematically impossible for a driver to understand a car with only 5 laps of data. The saddest and most tense garage was unquestionably Aston Martin Honda. Fernando Alonso finished the morning P9, a massive 4.019 seconds off the pace. Shock reports suggest their first in-house gearbox cannot withstand the wild and uncontrolled torque surges of the Honda engine. A full redesign from scratch is rumored, potentially taking 6 months. Fernando Alonso's heated finger-pointing and hand-gesturing argument with Honda engineers was captured by all cameras. Structural vibrations in the Honda engine are literally acting like a grinder on Aston Martin's delicate gears. In the 11-team grid, Aston Martin is currently the paddock's biggest engineering disappointment, struggling with terminal reliability issues rather than performance. Mercedes was the most intimidating silent force today with George Russell. He finished P3 with a 1-minute 34.111, but telemetry reveals Mercedes is deliberately derating the engine in the final 200 meters of the straights, hiding battery power instead of deploying it. Mercedes remains unshakably calm despite Ferrari's radical and problematic solutions. The W17 unit's software energy mapping is the most refined system on the grid. Mercedes engineers focused entirely on stabilizing the straight-line mode (SM) software today. While Ferrari toys with flipping wings, Mercedes is building a zero margin of error system that might be slower but works every single lap. Russell's confident and sly smirk is the biggest clue that Mercedes still has 0.3 to 0.5 seconds of hidden pace in their pocket. For them, February 19th was a day to enjoy watching their rivals fail. Max Verstappen showcased the raw potential of the Red Bull-Ford partnership this morning. Taking P2 with a 1-minute 33.584, he finished just 0.131 seconds behind Norris, effectively burying yesterday's Ferrari times. The RB22 proved Ford's raw power with terrifying straight-line speeds, while Verstappen's focus on pure efficiency caught the entire paddock's attention. Ford's battery management software allows Verstappen to keep his battery at much higher levels at the end of a lap, enabling longer full deployment than rivals. For Red Bull, today confirmed that the Ford engine is not just reliable, but fast enough to breathe down Ferrari's neck and potentially overtake them. Verstappen's long-run pace still makes Red Bull the grid's biggest nightmare in race simulations. The 2026 hierarchy in turmoil. As the February 19th morning session concludes, the paddock has reached one staggering consensus. The cards are being violently reshuffled in this 2026 technical war. Lando Norris's 1-minute 33.453 benchmark and Max Verstappen's 1-minute 33.584 Ford back to salt have proven that raw lap time is a hollow victory if the car cannot survive the sheer stress of its own innovations on this 11-team grid. The central thumping heart of today's drama remains Ferrari's radical 180-degree rotating rear wing. We are no longer talking about a simple flap opening like DRS. This is a full-scale aerodynamic revolution where the entire upper element flips completely upside down when X mode is engaged. It is a masterpiece of rule bending designed to effectively delete drag and turn the SF26 into a low-resistance bullet on the straights. However, the mechanical cost is becoming clear. The hydraulic pressure required to flip a structural carbon fiber wing at nearly 340 km per hour is immense, and today's 5-lap Hamilton drama suggests that this flipping wing might be a technical kamikaze move. Is it a genius loophole that will redefine F1, or an engineering fiasco that has pushed the SF26 past its breaking point? While Ferrari battles its own shadows, Mercedes remains a silent, looming threat, and the Red Bull-Ford partnership is beginning to trust its hybrid power more with every lap. The question for Melbourne is now undeniable. Have Maranello's engineers flown too close to the sun? Let's discuss the February 19th technical war and the fate of the 11 teams in the comments below. Was the flipping wing worth the reliability sacrifice? I will continue to analyze every bit of data leaking from the paddock as we head into the final sessions. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single beat of the 2026 revolution. Safe and fast exits from the pit, always.